third attack for the last turn, last thing for the Octarius Cyrex world orcs. Let's play Apocalypse. Alright, so here's the setup. Pretty crazy. We bid for time. Volander and his Tyranids bid 7 minutes and set up very timely. I bid 30 minutes just so I went first. This took me maybe 10 minutes to put down.
And this is a 3,500 point game.
I am 3,400 because I attacked this base. And like we said, you get 100 point deduction. We have 2 strategic assets, and I will show you mine secretly. I might have really bad handwriting, so you might not know what that is. And
going to be able to read mine. Well, one of mine is the digestion world, which is the hive world, or the world is turned into like a Tyranid paradise, whatever you want to call it. So you can put up 6 Tyranid feature terrain pieces. 2 of them are going to be digestion.
And we still have the same rules from last time.
Same rules, 6 plus cover save. If there's a troop there that's still alive, they could, after the turn,
D3 extra guys.
D3 extra guys.
These are little plant life things
that actually hurt
impassable terrain.
Yeah, make it impassable terrain for infantry, but also it goes a glancing wound of a truck or a vehicle. Yeah. Now the other things, this here and this here are actual tunnels, which allows hormagaunts, termagants, or infantry type gene stealers, troops, to come through and pop up. So as far as coming in reserve or in apocalypse, coming in the second or third turn, they can come in like right here and there. The thing is, they can't shoot and they cannot.
They can shoot, but they
cannot assault. That's correct. So just to go through.
Alright, so just to get out your piece of paper and say what you have for your army.
Okay, yeah, this is pretty crazy. Obviously,
point it out if you can. And
we were trying to make over 3,000 points. We ended up with 3,500 for the Tyranids. Okay, let's start with the HQs. I have a Swarm Lord, which is this guy right here. He's the Carnifex.
That's a high time.
Huh?
That's a high time.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. But he's the Swarm Lord. He has a Tyrant Guard with him. Over here, I have the Hive Tyrant, and he has a lot of upgrades.
He is a Carnifex, but he's a Hive Tyrant.
I don't know if you want me to go through
let's go through them.
Upgrades, I have the Twin Death Spitters, I have Hive Commander, I have the Old Adversary rules, I have Adrenal Glands, Toxin Sacs, I have Toxic Miasma, Regeneration, and Armored Shell. And also Acid Blood. 2 of these guys
he also has Scything Talons on top.
Protect him, yeah. Tervagon, I have Adrenal Glands, Toxin Sacs, Toxic Miasma, Regen, Cluster Spines, Catalyst, Onslaught, and Acid Blood.
So you can see we added a lot just to get to 3,000 because we don't have a lot of Tyranids.
Now my other HQ...
That's not an HQ.
Or no.
We have a Tyranid Prime.
Tyranid Prime is this guy right here, and he's going with the warrior groups, 4 other warriors.
To give them a 5+ weapon skill, ballistic skill.
Yeah, and he has Death Spitters, he has Adrenal Glands, Toxin Sacs, and
Twin Bone Swords.
Bone Swords, yeah.
Twin Bone Swords.
Twin Bone Swords. These other warriors, they just have Rending Claws, Adrenal, and Toxins, and Death Spitters.
And this Kroot is a warrior.
I think they're Devourers.
That Kroot is a Tyrant Guard. Yeah, they're Death Spitters.
They're Death Spitters? Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll start with this other big guy, which is a heavy support, Trygon Prime. He has Regen, Toxin, and Adrenal Glands, and yeah, that's what he has. He has, the normal things, 12 shots, whatever, Bio Pulse as well. This guys are Hive Guard, these 2 guys, and then this guy, and they have their normal strength 8 guns. Let's see what else I have. 16 Hormagaunts here, just trying to take cover. Over here I have 3 Zoanthropes, again using Kroot. These guys over here are just my Termagants, and they all have Devourers.
Alright, now let's look over here.
Reserve, or still not on the board, I have 24 Hormagaunts, 16 Hormigons, 8 Gene Stealers with the Brood Lord, with the Kroot, another Kroot guy there. Another 8 Gene Stealers, a Spore with 12 Termagants, and they have the 3 shotguns.
Devourers.
And then a Spore with the Doom
Malachite,
and then 3 Ripper Swarms.
Tunneling in.
Spine,
Yeah.
this stuff like that, adrenal glands. Those are just extra Kroot there. So
Alright.
that's my army.
And we'll be back to you with my army. Sorry I had to come back, but the battery's about to run out. So now I'm going to say what I have in my army. I have a War Boss, a Big Mac with a custom force field, and a Big Mac with a shock attack gun. I have some knobs with the War Boss, 4 Power Claws, a bunch of big choppers. This is my Pain Boy, which is a weird boy. All giving them feel no pain, and they have heavy armor, and he's giving them all cyborg bodies. And the War Boss has a Power Claw, vulnerable save, and squig, and they all have combine scorches, except for the Pain Boy, of course. Here, got another squad of knobs, all with big choppers, and and both squads have wog banners. Pain Boy, and giving them all 5+ invulnerable saves. I have some tank busters, all with dismissals. My 13 Ludas, all up in there. Commandos with Sneak Rot and 2 Burners coming in reserve. 30 boys over there. Knob. 9 Groks with the Big Mac, so he has a cover save even though he already has a cover save. Really, maybe that was a bad disappointment. 3 trucks, like normal. Boys inside. 6 Death Copters that are in the Choppa Squadron from the Apocalypse Reloaded book. So they have forgot how it works. I'll have to read up on, but yeah, they're that. They also have buzzsaws and twin-linked rockets. So they have Power Claws. Battle Wagon, Death Roller, which is that. Armor Plate, Squad Riggers, and Cannon. 2 Death Dreads, right there. 3 Killicans, and a looted wagon. So I don't have much in reserve besides really just commandos. Yeah. And so I scouted moved these guys right here to get a vulnerable save from this. And now going into Tyranids turn 1. End of Tyranids turn 1 Apocalypse. Tell us what happened, Roland.
Okay, well, let's just start with some of the HQs, what they did. Turbogon moved up, gave Catalyst to these guys.
Yeah.
And he gave Onslaught to those guys, which I probably should have done it to these guys because they could actually shoot. But anyway, he spawned 14, or however many, 12, I guess. And he still has that ability. They just moved up and ran to kind of cover the protection if these guys try to assault. This guy moved up. He shot 12 shots of his Bio Pulse, or whatever it's called, at those orcs, killed 5. These guys over here shot at those orc boys, killed another 5, so I think they killed 10. So there's a 20 group guys there. These guys didn't do anything. Well, actually, he gave weapon skill 1 to those helicopters for Praxium. And this guy, I did a containment spine somewhere. Oh, this guy did a containment spine or cluster spines against the helicopters in the truck. Nothing happened. These guys shot into the helicopters. They took a couple wounds. There used to be 6, so now there's 1 helicopter fully okay and 1 with 1 wound. They shot in there. These Zoanthropes. Yeah. They shot warp blasts or warp lances into those. Took out 2, so took out another 1. And then with the shooting, all told, basically my main intent was to take those guys out. These guys actually ran and then charged and took out. And with this charge, they took out, I'm not quite sure, but right now, there used to be 6, there's 2.
And they're running. But in the assaults, these are an Apocalypse formation, so I got D6 plus 1 attacks, and I rolled a 5, so I got 6 attacks for each one. And they have a Power Claw, a Buzzsaw, and so I just ripped through those guys. Thing is, you put 2 wounds.
Tribe has one
wound, and then one warrior died by insta-kill.
So that's what happened. So they have to actually regroup before they can do something.
Yeah.
But
alright, now going into
the last thing, we never showed where these capture points.
Oh yeah, we should.
There's a capture point here.
One
capture
there.
Point there.
One there.
Capture point here.
There.
Capture point there.
There. And then one right back there. My garage to have.
Okay, so that's the end of the turn.
Now going into Orc's turn 1. Alright, end of my turn 2. I moved my vehicles up. It's supposed to be right there. Whatever. I death rolled through these guys and the warriors that were there. Killed like 5 from here and killed like a lot more from over here. Killed like 2, insta-killed 2 of them. Truck moved over here and brought out all the boys to assault them, and then assault only killed 1. Death Cop just made the leadership, so they just moved down a little bit and shot at these guys and took a wound from the Tyrant Guard. These guys just moved up. He assaulted the Hormigons here, killed like 5 or 4. Tank Busters moved up, shot at the Trigon, took away 3 wounds. All my knobs moved up, and I called a WOG, but I have a strategic asset, like you saw. I don't know if you could read that. Big WOG, which doubles any of them. These guys rolled 2, so they ran up 4, and assaulted those spawned Termagants. These guys rolled 4, so they ran 8, and assaulted the Termagon and consolidated 4. These guys also consolidated. Over here, I rolled a 6, so they ran 12 inches and then assaulted 6 inches, so that's 24 inches, and assaulted the Trigon. He only has 1 wound now. Looters didn't really do much against the Termagants. These guys, he killed 1 Tyrant Guard and put a wound on the other Tyrant Guard with his blast. He just killed a couple more Termagants with his blast. And that's it. The Soul Boys in there. They're in assault. Finished up the assault there. Now just Tyranid turn 2 coming up.
Okay, end of Tyranid turn 2. I went ahead and I had 8 groups still outside, so I brought 4 in. Okay, the first group was this Termagant squad with the Spore. They scattered. I wanted them to come in here. They scattered that way. They went ahead and shot at a group of 5 tank busters. They were able to, fortunately, shoot them down in shooting phase. My other 3 groups I brought in were the Gene Stealers, a group of 24 Hormigants, another group of 8 Gene Stealers with the Brood Lord, and that was my 4 groups. I did paroxysmize these guys, and I went ahead and charged these guys here. These guys split their attacks. 12 attacked this group of Orc Boys, 12 attacked this group of Knobs. The paroxysmized guys. These here, I basically moved up here to be able to get an idea of who I wanted to assault. This truck, that truck, or there's a group of 10 Orc Boys here that were attacking my 2 Zoanthropes. I went ahead and assaulted with the Swarm Lord. They were paroxysmized by this guy. In the assault, I was able to wipe out the 10 Orc Boys or so, 9. I'm not quite sure how many there were. 1 Zoanthrope did die. I came back, my consolidation, he moved back 1, this guy moved back 6. In these biggest, in this assault here, the Gene Stealers moved up, ran, and wiped out the Orc Boys there. I think there's like about 9 or so. In these assaults, this was actually a tied combat. 8 Orc Boys, or was it 9? There was 4 dead Orcs, Knobs, and 1 wound, so I think I actually won that combat. I lost 8 Hormigants. over here, there was actually, he took out all the Broodlord and the 8 Gene Stealers and 2 of these guys. So that was 11. I took out 10 because he took 2 wounds from this war boss, and I took out 4 other knobs. So that one I lost, and he basically just killed those people. But that's the end of my turn, and we'll come back for my turn.
Alright. End of Orc turn 2. I moved Death Copters over here, shot at the Swarmlord, moved these boys up in the battle wagon over there. I shot and assaulted the Swarmlord, was able to kill it by just the last wound. Truck moved over here, Killicans over here. This Death Dread moved and ran, while this Death Dread finished off the Hormigons like we saw on the other turn. Moved up, assaulted the other Hormigons. And with those knobs and this, we were able to kill all the Hormigons. While these guys just killed the last Tyrant Guard, and they were hurt really bad. Ludas took away the last wound off the Trigon and killed it, while these Killicans like killed 4 Termagants, and both the boom gun and the Big Mac with a shock attack and missed their big blasts. And that is all that happened. Oh, I have to consolidate these orcs right here. Solid 6 inches. And so I'll remove that and go into Tyranids turn 3.
In the Tyranids turn 3, brought in my remaining reserves. These Ripper Swarms used a tunnel method, a tunnel swarm to just burrow right into there, placed right by that capture point. These guys here came in. The Hormigons came off this back edge. Doom Malantai came in and landed right there. In shooting phase, my Spore went ahead and shot at that tank. The Spore with the Stinger Salvo, they went ahead and made it so that it could not shoot. These guys shot at this, was able to penetrate it, but he made his saves, his force field saves there. There was a group of at least 15 orc boys that were right here threatening my Zoanthrope, but I was not able to take any wounds from them when this guy came in, but these guys here were able to shoot their Devour guns, and they actually made 16 wounds, and he missed all of his saves, so they are actually dead. Maybe this guy took, I think he took away a couple in a blast, but they basically all died, the 15 during shooting. This guy, he just ran to get closer in synapse to those little Ripper Swarms. These guys came in, they charged. There was 2 Power Claw knobs, a Pain Boy, and a War Boss here. These guys charged, and just to know how hard it is to kill someone who has a cyborg body with an invulnerable save and a Pain Boy save, Fuel No Pain, all of these guys assaulted on a charge, and I barely killed them. Just the last 2 wounds killed those last 2 characters, so it's so hard to kill those things, it's amazing. Over here, the Hive Tyrant basically took out a Pain Boy and a Knob. They both just had 2 wounds, but they're basically dead. I consolidated very poorly, just 1 inch there, 2 inches here, and 2 inches here. So that's the end of my phase. We'll come back with Orcs turn 3.
End of Orc turn 3. I rolled the 1, moved them up, moved these guys up, did the D6 attacks onto these guys, and also shot at them. There's only someone over there. He made his leadership since he got hurt really bad. This guy rolled a 5 and a 6 for his strength, and was only able to hurt 1 Gene Stealer with his big blast and kill it. Now he can't shoot next turn. Ludas shot at the Hive Tyrant, only rolled a 1, so they got 13 shots, and I did nothing. I let go of my boys, came up, assaulted the Doom of Malantai, and was able to kill it. Just a couple boys. Killicans up, ran them, moved and assaulted the Gene Sealers, both my Death Dreads, killed 4 in all, which is really bad. Come over here, assaulted the Orc, those guys, brought him down to 2 wounds left. And, oh, my Commandos came in on the back over here, assaulted the Termagants and made them flee. They're just right there fleeing at my guys. All up in there with Boss Sneak Rot. And I also revealed my last strategic assets when my knobs died. Said, replacements! Thing is, I didn't roll a 4 or higher, so I'll roll next turn. See if they can be put into strategic reserve. Back, now going into Tyranids turn 4. A lot of carnage. Just 3 turns.
In the Tyranid, turn 4, in shooting, move the zoanthrope, shot at this truck, took away its gun. These guys actually made their leadership of 6. They went ahead and shot all their guns at the commandos, and they were able to take the commandos out. Shooting. Over here, these guys shot at that tank and exploded it. The explosion hurt the group of 10 orc boys, or 9 orc boys that were there. 2 of them died in the explosion. In assault, the Swarm Lord was able to take out 3 orc boys, and he only had 2 wounds. He won an assault combat, the orcs ran back, and they were run down. Consolidated forward 6 inches. In assault, these Gene Sealers were just totally destroyed by those Killicans, or whatever they are, Death Dreads. In assault, these guys actually moved up, ran 5 inches, moved 6, ran 5, assaulted 6, assaulted and took out that group of 9 orc boys or so, consolidated back. So that is the end of turn 4. We'll be back with turn 4 for the orcs.
End of my turn. With those commandos dead, I had to do a different tactic. I moved my tanks over here to contest these places. These little 3 Ripper Swarms are holding this, though my tank came over here to contest it. Hormagaunts are holding that, but my tank came over to contest it. My Death Dreads assaulted the Hormagaunts because my Ludas took away the last one from the Hive Tyrant that was just sitting there. And I ran over the last Termagant with my Death Roller, and I killed the drop pod with my Killicans. Now going into turn 5 for the Tyranids.
In the Tyranids turn 5, there was a truck right there. The Spore shot at it, didn't do anything to it, or made it so it could not shoot. These guys actually jumped up, shot, and blew it up. Nothing else happened. These guys moved and then ran, captured this place. That guy over there shot at the truck and did nothing to it. And he has tried to assault and did nothing to it. So that's the end of Tyranids turn 5.
Alright, end of the game. Orcs, when I finally rolled a 5 for my replacements to come in, because the last time they just kept on rolling 1s, they finally come in, they move off the board and capture this point.
It's so hard to kill those things. It's just not crazy that they come in.
Kill a couple and make the last guy run, capturing this place with their troops. Contesting this place from these guys, this vehicle. Termagant's holding that place, that's 1. Oh, and because the Tyranids killed the war boss, you get an extra point. It's 1, 2. 3 Gretchen holding this place. Oh, and the big mech rolled double 1s and killed himself.
Now, what would have happened if, because you shot like 18 Ludas.
Oh, I shot everything into that guy just to kill him.
He just had 1 wound, and I think I made so many saves. It was crazy, but it died. It would have been a contest right there, but it died at last.
Yeah, well, Grot and that place is being captured by Killicans, which I don't know, that's counted, but whatever. So, Orc win. They have a huge.
So this can capture? So
yeah, because it's a walker. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2 contested. Alright. Another win for the orks. Humongous win, taking the world. Humongous push for this world, even though it's not over yet, but we're not going to finish it up. But basically just showing that the Tyranids don't have any more chance.
Well, can I say, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about favorite moment and stuff, but well, we don't have to, but this is like the last time of Edition 5.
Oh,
Edition
yeah.
6 is coming out, but we'll still probably play Edition 5 because we don't even have the book, we have no clue. But anyway, my favorite moment, if we want to talk about it, or my best group, I think, are these little guys here, because they captured my only capture spot. And
they killed one squad of orks.
The one thing is they shot all their 3-shot guns at like a 15-man group of ork boys. And they stood up to a charge of commandos. Then, when they missed their leadership, they only ran back and were right on the edge. And then they actually made their leadership so that they didn't run off or something.
Then they turned around.
Then they turned around and shot the 3 guns again and took out the commandos. So those guys, wow, they did really good for such small little dudes.
What's your least valuable player?
My least favorite. You know, this guy actually stood up to a group of 12 guys, and he was really standing up. And I actually got some, I think, 2 wounds back because he had regeneration. And you know, it's just really depressing because all my troops were coming in to assault that group that magically reappeared, and they had all those like 5s and 4s and feel no pains and stuff, and even with all these charges, it was so hard to kill them in invulnerable saves. Finally I did, and then they just come back at the end of the game. But you know, I was a foot slogger and I couldn't stand up to all these trucks and stuff.
My most valuable player are probably these guys. Because if it wasn't for them, if they didn't hold the line, the Tyranids would just rampage through all my guys. Then they come back and capture this place. My least valuable player, probably just one of the squad of ork boys, like the ork boys inside of there. They just took out like some Tyranid warriors.
Big Mac.
Yeah, probably the Big Mac. He never does anything.
I chose the wrong, his asset. I thought I had something where I could move to the back with my people.
He picked flank march after and he didn't know he could do it with his strategic reserves.
Yeah, I found my guys. What I should have done, but.
And what was your other one? Was world digestion?
These guys, which was pathetic. Like these things, if an orc's by 6 inches, they have to roll for 1. If they roll a 1, they die. It's like dangerous terrain. This thing, it does some other thing. If 4. On a 4 plus it hurts.
Yeah, I rolled a lot of 1s, so it didn't do much to the vehicles. And so that's the end of the game.
Now the special...
Good game?
Good game. It was competitive.
Alright, we'll be back to you with more games.
Well,
like we said, because the war boss died, technically what happened was the Big Mac, before war boss died, was killed by the Tyranids. The Big Mac comes over and duels the war boss for supremacy of the world. Because this war boss thinks he's better than the Big Mac Sharshan, but like to show he's not. I have a higher initiative. I only have 2 attacks. So here's my 2 attacks. Ooh, 2 hits. Look at that. Alright, wounding on a 5. Oh jeez. Ooh, 1 wound. Oh, 1 save. 4 plus armor save. 4 plus armor save. Cock. Reroll. Oh, and dies. Big Mac throws down the war boss. Stands atop him.
You didn't get invulnerable saves? Nothing?
Oh no, you already rolled your armor save. And this world is Sharshanks. He's beating the Tyranids at every match.